subscribe to my sister's channel. She will also voice her favorite plots. Let's give her a big asset. In a gloomy place in the forest, resembling either a cemetery or an ancient burial, a young man was sitting. He was sitting near, or rather on a small grave. He easily fit into this landscape, which, by the way, was magnificent. Dark sky with a scarlet moon. Dark blue sky, without a single star. Dilapidated rare trees around. They cast gloomy shadows. Lawn. And in the middle of the clearing is a burial, or rather a grave. A lonely young man, about 17 years old, is sitting on it. Black jeans, black shirt. Her short hair is the color of a raven's feather, it turns blue in the moonlight. Correct and attractive facial features. And the eyes. None of the people, let alone people, of the currently living beings have such eyes. Black, onyx without a flaw, without emotions. It seems as if they look straight into the soul and do not miss a single detail. They are so dark that it is not possible to see the pupil. Slowly, another guy approaches him. This one has long golden hair tied in a ponytail. They fall over the face and completely cover one eye. And his eyes are the color of a clear sky. Also quite an attractive face. His clothes include black jeans, a dark red, barred shirt and a black leather jacket. Examines the brunette, trying to attract his attention. But it doesn't work out. Then he decides to start a conversation. Why are you sitting here again? And you haven't nearly changed. How so? Don't ignore me. How can you even be alive? No one has called you in the last century. Are you silent again? Well, be quiet, all of you are stubborn, Uchiha. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, because only you are left. Aren't you kidding me? How long can you be silent? Have you lost your voice? No wonder, because you haven't talked to anyone for a long time. Impossible. I'm sitting here with you, and I'm talking as if to myself. Kick ass. Well, here it is again, but okay. But you used to talk a lot. Okay, never mind. Have you heard the latest news? Well, how could you hear them? There is a new king in the astral. As well as in the whole hell. Although in principle it's the same thing. You haven't been to receptions for a long time, have you? Where do you spend all your time? Surely in the world of people. Well, almost no one knows you here. And I doubt that many people there are familiar with you. No, right? You've got some nerve. No one alive today can stand my chatter, and at the same time not answer me. You really are ancient. Well, let's talk please, I can't do this anymore. Why are you so silent? Well, if I can't talk to you, then I'm off. Dater, stop. Wow, you said something. And I thought you'd already forgotten the speech. Why did you come? Me. Just like that, I wanted to see a friend. Really? And why now? It's that simple. Well, there's no reason, I just wanted to talk to you. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Well, this year we will be called magicians. I heard it from a reliable source. Do you want to go to the world of people? Make a fuss? No. It's boring. And why would some magician summon us? You've been fooled. No. I don't know the exact reason, but it will be students. And who will be called will study with them at the academy. Well, why are you telling me this? This is useless information and you never know if some individual will call you. Here's the joke. After all, no one from the modern elite knows you. And the usual ones, too. Well, I doubt that someone will call me. I'm not a genie or an errand dog, well, yes. Bummer. Well, it's time for me, because I'm not an unknown, forgotten ancient that everyone has forgotten about. I have to work. Bye-bye. The blonde man left the clearing, and the brunette stayed and watched the moon. But there is no dawn in this part of the astral, the young man finally thought and disappeared. A girl was sleeping at the back of the first row. A student. Her golden hair covered her pretty face. Yes, history is not a very interesting subject, but the next subject in her schedule captures everyone, magic. It's basics. But for now, only history means you can sleep. She would have overslept until the end of the lesson, but Yamato, the history teacher, casually approached Naruto's desk. What was the surprise of the unhappy student when she began to wake up because it was somehow uncomfortable, and finds that the teacher looks at her face with a look in which the desire to beat her is read. Yamato-sensei. What is it? She asked in a trembling voice. Yes, Naruto, do you want to say something? He said, emphasizing that she would say something, namely apologize. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Oh, it won't happen again, but He did not have time to finish as the bell rang and everyone in the class ran out for recess. You are very lucky, Uzumaki-san. Not having the slightest desire to listen to him further, the blonde quickly ran out of the classroom. Running out, she crashed into a kiba. But paying attention to this, I ran on until I found Sakura. Sakura is a pretty popular girl at school. She has short Sakura-colored hair and emerald eyes. Naruto's POV. Sakura. Hi, hello. And how did you manage to fall asleep in Yamato-sensei's class? I don't know. It became boring, well, but then it was fun. Green-eyed asked cheerfully. Of course, I said sarcastically. Well, that's all right. We have magic now. Will you sit with me? Of course, you are on good terms with Jirai-sensei, but still you should not sleep in class. Okay, that I liked magic and Jirai-sensei is not a bad teacher. I'm not going to sleep on magic. History is another matter. While we were talking, I didn't even notice how we had already come to class and sat down in our seats. The bell rang, marking the beginning of the pair. I am glad to see this couple. Jirai-sensei started explaining the new topic. As you all know, there are many races in the world. There are weaker and stronger ones. Which races belong to the weak? Everyone probably guessed it: vampires, elves, werewolves, witches, mermaids, and so on. There are average races. They are not the strongest and not the weakest. They have many advantages, but the victory of a stronger race is not one of them. These are such races as magicians, magical creatures, dragons, fallen, ghosts. As well as the last section, stronger. These races are very strong, but some of them have to pay for this strength with pain. No, they don't die, they can suffer at a certain time. For example, the full moon is not very good for the lower demons. Well, so I've already hinted to you who they are: demons, angels, Nephilim, and beings descended from an angel and a demon, although as a result he loses both his essences and becomes a high-class magician. Well, summoning one of these creatures will help determine the level of your potential. This will be your homework to call someone from the list listed earlier. You can take this list in printed form from my desk at the end of the pair. Now I will tell you about the pros and cons of all races. The first one is weaker. They do not have a large stock of magic, or you can call it a chakra. In general, their magic is not the strongest, but they are very hardy physically, achieve success in hand-to-hand combat. They are hardy. With this, they compensate for the lack of magic. The second middle race. She is stronger than the weaker one in magical abilities. Also, some magical creatures like the dragon, which does not have a very voluminous arsenal of spells, as well as weaker ones, it succeeds at the expense of physical strength. The fallen have more powerful magic, but their stamina leaves much to be desired and third grade. Stronger ones, for example, are Nephilim. If a child is from an angel and a human, without any genes of other creatures, then this child will make progress in magic and endure physical training well. He will not experience some illnesses. But strong demons with an impressive, magical chakra will suffer from some kind of disease all their lives. It is not often that you can meet a demon or an angel who would develop both magical and physical powers. And not everyone can do it. There used to be one clan, according to legend, which had impressive strength. But they all died without knowing why. Okay, now a couple will run out, so the tasks for tomorrow are to call someone and bring them here. It will be either a servant of the summoner, or a friend. Whoever does not try it will not be able to further develop magic. The bell rang. Everyone but me ran out of the classroom. Sakura went to kill Kiba, because he called her a weakling the whole lesson. Oh, he's going to regret it now. Jirai-sensei, please tell me, who can I summon? I asked him. Naruto-chan, you know that your father, the director of this academy, Minato Namikaze, is half human, half werewolf, and your mother Kushina Uzumaki was an angel, although I doubted this for a long time. Character as in, okay, I think you can summon anyone you want. There's no Nephil like you in our entire academy. You cannot stand on ceremony and call on the strongest at once. You're not a werewolf or a witch, why beat around the bush? Summon the strongest and surprise everyone. Thanks for the tip, Jirai-sensei. I was about to leave when sensei stopped me. Naruto, do you have something else right now? I have a couple of martial arts, although she is not tomorrow. It turns out no, I have everything. And what? I just wanted to say that if you want to summon a strong demon, you should not wait until dark. Not entirely reasonable, thanks. I'll try not to pull. Goodbye. After leaving the classroom, I quickly ran into the courtyard. Something told me that I had to save Kiba, although it was my own fault. Well, I'll help you. The end of Naruto's POV. Running into the courtyard of the academy, Blue-Eyed saw Sakura tearing up and throwing up. And Kiba is trying to escape or dodge Sakura's magical attacks. Yes, what is there from magical, if you can earn a concussion from Sakura's physical attacks? Poor Kiba, you shouldn't have angered Sakura. Activating Naruto's magical protection, she hurried to Kiba. He, realizing her intention, ran up to her. Sakura's attacks failed to penetrate Naruto's shield. What are you doing, Naruto? Evil Sakura asked. What does it look like? I don't let a murder happen on the territory of the academy, she replied in all seriousness. Yes, Sakura, calm down. Kiba inserted his 5 kopecks. Idiot, and you keep quiet at all. Sakura shouted at him. Okay, Sakura, I'm sorry about this idiot. The blonde turned to her friend. Stop already, both of you. This performance. Sakura looked, then at her friend, then at this idiot who dared to annoy her. Okay, but Kiba, if you call me again. She looked at the guy with the look of a man who is almost ready to end someone's life. Then even the director and an angel will not save you. I understand, I won't. He said it quietly, but Naruto heard and lowered the shield. Sakura went ahead, and Naruto followed her. Sakura, who are you thinking of summoning? The blonde asked the question that had been tormenting her since the middle of classes. I don't know. I'm not a Nephilim like some of those standing here, she replied sarcastically. I'll summon, maybe a lower demon, or maybe some magical creature, clearly. By the way, I heard that it is not advisable to summon demons in the evening and at night, Naruto said casually, but after a second she realized that not only Sakura had forgotten about it. Then it's time for me. Realizing what I mean, Sakura said and took off. It's already 15:37. And it's not getting dark early, but we still need to prepare everything. So for now. But she's right, flashed through the blonde's head, and she herself took off. When she reached the dorm, she feverishly sorted through the thoughts in her head. We need to have time to prepare. And now it's clear why we lived alone. Well, damn it, hurry up. Entering the room, she immediately opened the window. Taking out a book on magic and thoroughly reading the paragraph, she was surprised that not all demons need a lot of candles, bloody pentagrams, but only the strongest ones. But what should she do, because she wants to summon a strong one, not a frail weakling? But already the hand on the clock is closer to 5 and there is no time to run to the store. After all, if a demon is summoned at night or in the evening, his powers either remain the same or increase. And she doesn't need it, she needs to summon the day, then the sun will suppress their forces. Okay, I won't call the strongest. Taking a white sheet and paints, fortunately she has a gouache of a bloody color. Yes, she needs her own blood, but the amount of blood that will be needed for the pentagram makes her head spin. So let's release a little. Having drawn the pentagram completely, she cut her palm deeply and dripped blood on the sheet in the main places of the circle. The pentagram is there, the spell book is there. Now we can start. So what kind of demon do I want? Well, in the paragraph it is written, to choose one of the deadly sins, and which one to choose. Anger, no, it's still inconvenient to argue with him, and it's not profitable at all. Gluttony, no, I don't like fat people, or some kind of gluttons. Laziness, no, then who will do everything? Pride, no, it's too problematic, and it will be sarcastic with friends, but it's impossible to force something to do. Envy, no, it was not enough. Greed, no, what kind of existence would it be? Well, damn, there's only lust left. Well, damn, he or she will seduce everyone, so what if I'm joking in front of friends? Well, lust, it will be difficult, but okay. So what else do you need? Oh, all you have to do is read the spell and the demon will come. His strength depends on your potential. All right. She began to recite the spell quickly and in an incomprehensible language. A dead, ancient language. The words were harsh. They made me shiver. There was a feeling that envelopes, surround something dark, dangerous. After reading the spell, Naruto looked around and seeing no one thought, maybe I said something wrong? No, it can't be that I'm getting scared. But after all, I do not cause the strongest, then why does such an ancient, primitive fear appear, danger for my life? Suddenly, a strong gust of wind burst out of the pentagram. And darkness began to thicken in the middle of the room. All the lights in the house went out, the shiver went to the bones. Naruto has already decided that a terrible, ugly monster will step out of there now. But no. A young man appeared in the middle of the room. It was impossible to see anything in the dark. But even without seeing the details, one could conclude that he was devilishly handsome. His bangs were falling over his eyes. He didn't move and Naruto didn't move. Finally, unable to stand the pause, she asked, "Who are you? How did you end up here? You called me, who are you? How did you end up here? You called me. And you don't know who I am? No, are you kidding? Did you summon a demon without knowing his name, without knowing what he looks like? On what principle did you call me then?" "I wanted to summon the demon of lust." "Okay, let's make a contract." "How do you sign contracts? On blood, on an oath, on pain, on anything?" Naruto's POV, and what kind of contract should I sign with him? On pain, on oath, no. Oh, I'm bleeding, I shouldn't have cut my hand so deeply. Here we will conclude on blood, she will not be wasted. On blood, as you wish. An ancient dagger with a ruby at the end of the hilt appeared out of nowhere. The demon cut his hand and blood immediately appeared on it. He wanted to approach, but the pentagram on the floor prevented him. Then I went up to him and we held hands. It's not strange, but when our blood began to mix, I felt pain. But it stopped immediately. I felt a current discharge going through every cell of my body. I don't know why, but I knew that he felt the same. He began to recite some kind of spell, in a language that I don't know. His voice did not cut the ear, as it was said in the books. Although he was a demon, his voice calmed and at the same time excited the imagination. Velvety, pleasant. How can a demon have such a voice? While I was thinking about him, he finished reading the spell and started looking at me expectantly. Why are you looking at me like that? You just chose the wrong way. Is that all? No, what else should be done? Kiss you? Of course, you're a demon of lust. I began to get angry. We've been signing a contract for about 40 minutes, and that's not all. No. You have to say that I'm your demon now, or something like that, okay? You're my demon. Glad? Suddenly, the pentagram began to glow. A cold blue, violet light emanated from her. What is it? Just when I wanted to ask this demon what he was doing, the shackles appeared from there. They began to open quickly, as if he could only escape from hell that way. Not at will, not at the whim of the Supreme, but only by order of the Master. But as soon as the shackles released him, a shiver went through my body. Chains appeared in my cancers. And on his wrists, neck, legs, the shackles appeared again, only now they were somehow different. They did not begin to disappear like the previous ones, they began to be imprinted into the skin with tattoos. Delicate fine lines wrapped around his wrist, neck and tarsus. I see such a large number of chains for the first time in my life. After all this, a bright flash lit up the room and it was all over. I hope everything? I asked with hope in my voice. Yes, it's over now. That I breathed a sigh of relief. I summoned a demon and made a contract. So, what now? I asked seriously, what do you want? You can order me around, what? That's it? I thought you were going to seduce me. Or incite to some evil. Isn't that what demons do? Well, and so too, then, why do you have a beautiful voice? Are you really very weak? And I already thought that I had hit a strong demon, and you, a weakling. The end of Naruto's Pav what? She called me, squirmed during the conclusion of the contract, and still calls me a weakling? Not well, here's an impudent person. It seems she's a Nephilim, so why would someone like her summon a weakling like me? On what principles did you make such a conclusion? I try to speak in a calm voice, as if I didn't hear her insults. Fortunately, I know how to hide emotions. How about what? Stupid or what? I told you, your voice is not formidable, which means you are weak. Got it? I didn't understand. Read here. She threw a book at me. I open Magic on a bookmark. The paragraph is called Classification of Demons. So what do we have here? With what nonsense in the help she made, such a stupid conclusion. Paragraph 1. Demons can be easily distinguished. For example, demons who are stronger even have a threatening voice. Not always, only when they shout or use it as a weapon. Just by the appearance of the demon, you can determine how old he is. If he looks 18 to 19, then he is 100 to 130, if he looks 20 to 27, then he is 200 to 300. The aura of demons can be felt. On this basis, you can determine who is more powerful and who is weaker. By the beauty of the demon, you can also determine their strength. These are seducing demons. Which of them is more beautiful and more experienced, both in battle and in their business? By the color of the eyes, you can also determine the power that he owns or, in extreme cases, the element. Brown with a hint of red, fire. Blue, water. Blue, air. Brown, earth. Gray, lightning. Previously, the eyes of demons changed their color and this confused people. There are also some exceptions. Demons don't have black eyes. This is a myth. If they are black, then he hides his true color. Demons can't live forever. They live up to 1,500 years. Also, by the number of tattoos, you can determine how experienced the demon is. And also, what kind of nonsense is this? Everything here, exclusively everything, is a lie. Either some demon deceived them on a large scale, or in a couple of 100 years until I came out, everything has changed so much. This is nonsense. How is the power of demons distinguished by voice? What kind of idiot demon would release an aura on display? What kind of idiocy? Where has hell gone? What does eye color have to do with strength? Not okay, with the fact that strength depends on some eyes, true, but about the fact that the color of the eyes determines the element? And how is it, black eyes are a myth? Then what are they, purple? How is the demon's experience distinguished by how many tattoos he has? Is someone who lives with a large number of hosts experienced? Come on, whatever. I still can, Calm down, well, by such criteria, I really seem to be a weakling, so there's no point in getting mad at this girl. The end of Sasuke's Naruto's POV. What's the matter with him? He looks at the book and wonders more and more why. Are you done? He looked at me and nodded. Well, okay. I wanted to ask him something, but then the doorbell rang. And who is it? I open it, and there. Father, hello, Naruto-chan. How are you doing with magic? Hi Dad, where's Mom? And she stayed at home, said that she still had a lot to do. I see. Come on in. Well, so how have you called already? You know I called your mother at your age. Yes, Dad, I heard that story. Well, who did you call? An angel? No, Dad. I didn't try to be an angel, for some reason. I think they all have the character of a mom. Ah. Well, yes. A good reason. I also, when I called, thought that they had a better character, but not fate. Well, that's it. I'm not sure myself. Okay. The one you called, my daughter? Some weak witch or vampire, like half the freshmen do? Of course not. I tried to summon the dragon. I guessed right? I told you that my intuition is at the highest level. Dad, your intuition is at the lowest level. Take it easy. And don't interrupt me. Otherwise I won't show you. What I won't show you? I won't tell you a word who I called. I get it, you're just like Mom, that's it. Well, so I tried to summon a strong demon, but as soon as I found out that candles, blood, and some other bullshit were needed, I changed my mind about summoning the strongest and called some. I just can't figure out if he's strong or weak. Well, very simply, what's his voice like? Soft, velvety, pleasant? No, Dad, you didn't understand. I checked for all these criteria. He's weak, but when I called him, I felt fear for my life. This does not happen to the weak. Well, how old do you think he is? Well, 150 years, very young. Kushina and I are 100. You know, strong magicians or Nephilim like you either age slowly or grow up to a certain age and stop aging. I know that. Okay. Show it to me, I'll tell you for sure what its power is. I hope you didn't choose lust from sins. I can't, it will kill Kushin to scan lust. Well, don't scan. But there stands the demon of lust. I'm sorry, my daughter, but I won't give you a clear answer. Maximum by eye, and this will help. Otherwise, I will be ashamed to take a weak demon to the academy tomorrow. Don't be so harsh. We went into the room. The demon was standing near the window, looking bored. Yeah, it was kind of gloomy around him. Well, the wiring probably burned out. Well, Dad, meet this demon. And you, I pointed to the demon, meet my father Mikado Namikaze. The director of the academy, Scarlet Stars, in which I go. Nice to meet Minato-san. Strange. Usually demons are rude, but he is extremely polite. Me too, my father replied, and then I realized that I forgot to ask. How could I not find out the name of my demon? I'm sorry I didn't ask earlier, but what's your name? My father looked at me as the most forgetful person in the world. No. And really, how can you make a contract with a demon without knowing his name? My name is Sasuke. That's how. So Sasuke, Kun. He winced when they called him that, but didn't say anything. Sasuke, Kun, tell me, are you a strong demon? And what color are your real eyes? I am. Of course strong. And why do you think my eyes can't be black? This is my real eye color. Sasuke-kun, demons can't have black eyes. Vampires, yes, but you're 100% not a vampire. I can feel the darkness coming out of you. Yes, darkness emanates from me, because I spent a long time in the astral and did not come out from there. In the astral? Where is it? Minato asked. This is a separate part of hell, where they are sent, or where they go to retire. There is no dawn, there is no sunset. There's no day coming at all. It's always night there. Okay, well, Naruto, I have to go. Bye, Dad. He left, and I stayed on one with Sasuke. What is your element? Fire and lightning, too? You're really strong. Well, okay, get up early tomorrow morning. It's time to go to bed. Okay, good night. The gentle rays of the sun illuminated the cozy room. They gently tickled a beautiful girl with hair the color of the sun, illuminating her peaceful face. He gently stretched out his rays to her, but she blinked and muttered something in her sleep. Yes, the light definitely loved this girl, who always shone with positivity. A guy was sleeping on the other half of the room. To say that the rays tried to avoid him with all their might means to say nothing. His half of the room was somehow gloomy. The guy is clearly used to such antics of the rays of the sun. Well, what can I say? He is a creature of darkness. Why should the light love him as well as a Nephilim? That's the answer. There's nothing to start with. But the guy seems to have had enough of the feeling that, somewhere on the opposite side of the room, an amazing amount of morning rays had gathered. It turns out a strange picture. One room. But the two different ends are too different. It's as if some invisible line divides the room in half, into two different worlds, two different civilizations, two different sides. Surely the roommates of this room would have thought about it for sure if they were not late for classes. Naruto's POV. The sun shines unpleasantly in my eyes. Well, damn, how much can I do? Let me sleep in peace. It's the same thing every day. Why am I never allowed to sleep in the morning? And who? Just the rays of the sun that make their way through thick curtains. How do they do it? It's a secret to me. Well, I won't fall asleep anyway. So, 7:30. Wednesday. Okay. Stop. Wednesday? I'm late. Abruptly jumping out of bed, I start running around the apartment. Why do I have to start looking for clothes every morning? So, stop, and on the next bed is sleeping Sasuke. Damn, I have to drag him to school today too. And what should he wear? Or will he go in the same clothes he came in yesterday? Well, it's customary to wear a uniform to the academy. And where can I get him a uniform? Running up to the front door, I see a bag of clothes pushed under it and a note on top. This is the form in which your magical being should come to school. The size will change by itself, to the desired one. A raincoat is also mandatory. It was not enough for everyone to stare at you. I take the package and run to Sasuke. Sasuke, get up. I said, wake up. Otherwise our contract will be Terminated, he moved, I must have scared him. Haha, now I know what to tease him with. Why is he looking at me like I'm a fool? Okay, I'm getting up. But I would like to note, madam, that the blood contract cannot be terminated. Even if you want it, wish it, or I want it, it is impossible to terminate it. What's that, right? Well, more on that later. Now, run, put on your uniform and let's go to the academy. To the academy? Now? Yes, faster. I'm waiting 5 minutes and that's it, okay. But madam, you're still in your pajamas, change your clothes. And don't look around. After 8 minutes, we were already running out of the apartment. So don't forget to close the door. Don't forget. Sasuke turns out to run fast. And I thought demons weren't very athletic. Well, thanks to that, we came running at 5 minutes to 8. Sakura, I called my friend, as soon as I noticed her pink top in class. Hello, hello. You know, Ino seems to be breaking the rules, or something like that, Sakura said irritably. What? Why? I didn't understand, you've got a uniform. It said put on a raincoat. Right? Well, yes. But it's not written there that it's mandatory. I didn't understand either the situation or Sakura's confidence. But Jirai-sensei never argues just like that. You see, Ino didn't listen to him and came with her. A vampire like, it doesn't matter, without a cloak. And half the girls have already fallen in love with him. They think that he will become the first handsome man in the academy. It's true. There was a guy standing in the middle of the crowd. Pretty cute. His hair and eyes were an impenetrable black color. The skin is very pale, which gave him some courage in combination. But more than one emotion was not read on the pale lyceum. A lot of girls crowded around him. And a few undergraduate guys. They looked appraisingly at the guy, then at Ino. Well, yes, judging by his aura, which he radiated, it could be concluded that he was not a weak opponent. But he is somewhat similar to Sasuke, flashed through my head. Yes, he's not so handsome. I have a friend in hell who is 100 times more beautiful than him, said the demon sitting next to Sakura. That's how, said Sakura, calming down a little. Naruto, meet my demon, dater. Sakura introduced the guy. Yesterday, when I tried to think of what sin to call a demon, I didn't come up with anything. And I decided that let the demon of sin come, which is closest to me. Well, here he is. So what is his sin? I asked. Does Sakura like to intrigue, and then not to tell the end? What do you think? Anger, of course, she replied. It's really obvious, flashed through my head. And then I realized that Sakura was waiting for me to introduce her to her companion. She named her own and, by the way, even showed a little bit. This dater threw back his hood for a second and a blonde man with long blonde hair and blue eyes appeared in front of me. Somehow he looks like me. This is Sasuke. Having come to my senses, I introduced the demon. Sasuke? Dejtara asked. Yes, said the demon himself, your jokes have come true. After saying that, he pulled back his hood. Deidara's eyes popped out, as did Sakura's. Really, really? Did this girl summon you? He asked, pointing at me. Yes. Having said that, he put the hood back on. Sakura had a very strange look. While, apparently, old friends were talking, Sakura dragged me away and began the interrogation. What demon did you summon that such a handsome man came? And you also agreed that the vampire Ino is beautiful, all in order. I was summoning the demon of lust. Why? Aren't all demons like that? Strangely beautiful? Are you an idiot? Of course not. Well, okay. Isn't the vampire Ino more beautiful than Sasuke? What are you? Sakura asked with such an expression on her face, as if I had said something stupid. Have you even looked at him? Or did she summon a demon and never even look at him? No, I looked to make sure Sakura wasn't exaggerating. I started looking over her shoulder at Sasuke. Lucky, Dater pulled off his hood and said something, to which the brunette did not react in any way. Really, how could I not notice? After all, Sasuke had an outstanding appearance. His short raven-colored hair, in long strands, somewhere up to the middle of the neck, framed his face, and his hair stood out funny from behind, but this did not spoil his appearance at all, on the contrary, adding shine to him. Although the eyes were onyx in color, they attracted to themselves with incredible force. It seemed that you could drown in black pools and not regret it. All his features were correct: a thin strip of lips, a slightly upturned nose, a thin neck on which a tattoo rested. It wrapped around his neck like a rope. But it was difficult to see her because of the high collar of her school uniform. By the way, she really suited him. A black jacket, in some places embroidered with blood-colored patterns, a red shirt and a black tie, slightly pulled back, so as not to suffocate. The pants are tight, black. No, I've definitely never looked at Sasuke from that angle. But if you think about it, he really is an excellent demon of lust, I thought, and as always, at the wrong time, the bell rang. I sat down next to Sasuke. Jirai-sensei started teaching the lesson. Hello. Today we have the first 2 pairs of theory. We will take apart everyone you have called. We will find out the disadvantages and advantages. And then we will have 4 pairs of practice. We talked with Kakashi-sensei and agreed that in the last 2 pairs with him you will train together with the magical creatures that you have summoned. Let's find out their capabilities. Having said this, Jirai-sensei gave a couple of minutes to think about what he heard, who was happy that everyone would find out what an unsurpassed subordinate he had, who on the contrary was sad, did not want to be disgraced. Sasuke, Dater began. Well, be silent, Dater pouted, offended, and I'll tell you anyway. Are you going to do magic in full force or what? I don't think I can do it in full force, Sasuke answered thoughtfully and showed Dater the tattoos on his right wrist. Well, yes, exactly, shackles, he drawled understandingly. I also have, though only on my right hand, and the truth is that Dater's arm had exactly the same tattoo as Sasuke's. However, the symbols were different. Dater's were rarer and less complex. And why does Sasuke have more complex characters? And why does Dater only have on her right wrist? The textbooks say that the fewer shackles a demon has, the stronger it is. However, in my opinion it somehow does not fit. Why then do the weak need fetters? Okay, then I'll ask Jiraiya-sensei. While I was thinking about it, it was Kiba Inuzuka's turn. Strangely, the names in the list are not in alphabetical order, but in order, influential at the top, not influential at the bottom. Naruto, specifically asked to go down. She did not want to be above her friends either in the magazine or in life. Kiba Inuzuka, I called the angel, she wanted me to call her. Her Hinata is Hugo. That, in general, is the whole story that needs to be told. Sensei will write it all down, and then he will just explain, in general. How many shackles does she have? Sensei asked. She has no shackles. Of course not. Sensei, what are you doing? She's an angel. Not fallen, not a demon, not a vampire, but an angel. The forces of good do not need fetters. I thought. Ino Yamanaki, I summoned a vampire. His name is Sai. The shackles are alone, but very small. Does she believe that the fewer the shackles, the stronger the magical being? Haruno Sakura, I summoned a demon. His name is Dater. The shackles are alone, but the right wrist, okay. What is his sin? Sensei asked, smiling slightly, apparently hearing a familiar name. Anger.1010, yeah. Called an angel. His name is Nagi Hugo. Another angel? Are they related? They are similar, so they are relatives. So, the cloak can be removed only after you have been named. I wanted to ask Sakura something, but she gestured, "Shut up, Rock Lee." I summoned a demon, in the name of the power of youth. His name is Gaara. This is the famous sand demon Gaara. He has 2 fetters. But they are significant. On the wrists. His sin is pride. All right, Lee. Calm down. Sit down. Shikamaru Nara. I summoned a demon. His name is Taiji. The shackles are small, on 1 finger. Sin is gluttony. Hurrah! I'm next. Naruto Uzumaki. I summoned a demon. His name is Sasuke. Okay, a demon I don't know. How many shackles does he have? Sensei asked with interest. 5, I don't know why, but I answered proudly, as if it was not a disgrace, but dignity. 5, it seems Sensei is a little shocked and the whole class was in shock, but soon everyone started laughing, saying, well, what else can you expect from such a weak girl? But Dater and Gaara just stared at Sasuke with their eyes open. Strange reaction. And too different. Yes, Naruto, maybe. He looked at his notes. Sasuke, come out here. I want to check something. Of course, she replied and turned to Sasuke. Will you go out to Sensei? Okay, he replied calmly, but after his voice, the class somehow strangely quieted down. Yes, what is it? I quietly asked a rhetorical question under my breath. Yes, what is it? I quietly asked a rhetorical question under my breath. What exactly are you talking about? Asked Dater, who still heard him and decided to answer, about everything. Why do all demons have 1 or 2 fetters, and I have a demon with 5? It turns out very weak. But if he is already weak, then why so many shackles? I decided to ask him all my questions, so many questions. Of course, you can expect answers from Sasuke for 100 years. I know this well, I've tried it myself. Well, so all demons with 2 or less shackles are not really the strongest. Why? You just see, their magic is small and not so destructive, so they have few shackles. They can use almost all of their power here. And strong demons are specifically restricted so that the world would be more whole. Meanwhile, Sasuke was already standing next to Sensei, who was examining his shackles. Thank God he was only looking at the wrist. Probably he does not know where else there may be shackles, and with the whole class he is not going to find out. Sasuke, what is your sin? Well, I have a lot of them. Which one exactly are you interested in? Sasuke, damn, what are you saying? Jirai-sensei, his sin is lust. I decided to answer for him before he said something like that again, and Dater sits on the side and laughs like crazy. Uzumaki-san, come to me after the end of the pair. Okay. Sasuke had already come and sat down, as I gave him a slap on the back of the head. The end of Naruto's POV. What did you say there? Naruto asked. The truth. Yes, Sasuke not only knows how to be silent himself, but also knows how to shut up well, commented Dater. Okay. Sensei gathered his strength. After the roll call, we discussed the strengths and weaknesses of each or almost everyone. So let's start with the class that is most represented. So these are vampires. A lot of girls have summoned vampires. Vampire refers to the weaker races. They have a more or less strong chakra, but they are not very hardy. They are most often beautiful young guys or ladies. They are not immortal, as many believe. They really feed on blood. Sunlight does nothing to them and they eat garlic. They are reflected in mirrors. Their body temperature is lower than ours and they are paler. They are not the living dead, for whom they are often mistaken by inexperienced magicians. Werewolves. They were called by 3 people. They do not have strong magic, but they are very hardy and achieve success in hand-to-hand combat. They turn into wolves not only when the moon is full, but when they want to. The moon just helps to strengthen their magical powers, though not by much. They most often appear as rude girls or guys. A lot of legends about werewolves are not true. They can also be called werewolves. Someone has summoned a ghost. Well, ghosts are such peculiar creatures. It's not that it would be difficult to summon them, no, it's simply impossible to get along with them. Their magic is not weak, mostly their powers are focused on creating illusions or teleporting objects. They do not fight in the style of hand-to-hand combat at all, since they are not completely material. They are also called spirits, they called the fallen. Well, the fallen ones, I have already said that since they were angels before, their magic is strong, even very strong, they can defeat a lower demon. But their physical strength or endurance is lousy. They also have a heavy character. They are beautiful, but on their backs you can see a scar from wings that will never appear there again. They are very charismatic. Some of them are very beautiful. Point 2 called angels. Yes, it's been a while since anyone called angels. Angels are very powerful creatures. Their magic is full of light, it is very powerful. Their physical fitness is not bad either. They can compete with a werewolf in endurance. But some people may harbor dislike or contempt, even without having a sharp reason for it. It's not strange, but angels don't have blonde hair. Well, they're mostly not light. Every angel is unique. I'll get better, every angel clan is unique. There are many clans, but at the moment it doesn't matter. Now let's analyze the clan of angels who are in this audience. Of course, I know that it's not very polite to ask angels or demons for their last name, but could you tell us your last name? Jirai-sensei asked. Okay, the guy said, he's probably the older brother, our last name is Hyuga. Hyuga? It seems sensei was surprised again. Well, then this angel clan has a lot of features. They are all very good warriors. Their physical indicators are on top. They know martial arts very well. Also, their clan has one unique ability that is transmitted only in their family. By inheritance. This is the ability of the eyes to see through objects. They can see how many people are in the room quietly, not through the window, but looking through the wall. Well, and a lot of such things. Let's move on. Demons. Demons with only shackles. These are demons with a strong, well, not very strong chakra and good physical abilities. Remember, all the abilities of a demon can be determined by the number of shackles. I don't know how it is written in your textbooks, but in fact, we were taught earlier and thought so earlier, the more shackles a demon has, the stronger the demon's real magical abilities. But in our world, the more shackles, the more limited the demon is in his powers. But demons with a small number of shackles can use almost all of their power. Okay, now about the demons with 2 fetters. They have an impressive magical power. For example, Gara, the son of the current ruler of Hell. He has a powerful chakra and is well prepared physically. He looks 17 years old, but how old are you really? Sensei asked the demon. Actually, I am 146 years old. Well, that's it. Demons, some have powers from legendary beasts. Well, not just demons. In general, their chakra helps in combat and improves the abilities of the owner. Also, the abilities of demons develop in different directions and do not have an exact system. So in addition to Gara with 2 seals, Dater also eats. Dater, how old are you? I'm 467 years old. What? But why do you look 27 then? And not by 40? You just understand, 400 years ago there were no calculations of years by age as far as you look. Then the demon didn't look 35. I had a friend who was about 1,000, but he looked 25. But about 350 years ago, something happened to the demons and they began to age, that's how. Well, as I said before, the powers of demons are not the same. And this can be proved by holding a fight after the end of this pair. By the way, the end is in 15 minutes. In the meantime, you can talk to your friends or those whom you have summoned and learn from them their techniques and secrets. Relax, in general. And Uzumaki-san and his demon come to me, okay, Naruto replied to Sensei, and then turned to Sasuke, come on. I wonder what Sensei wants to ask us, thought Naruto, walking to Sensei, did you want something Sensei? What is it? She asked, coming up to the table. Yes Naruto-chan, tell me, how did you summon Sasuke-kun? Very simple, I drew a pentagram on the sheet, read a spell from a book. I generally thought that some weak demon would come, I just didn't stock up on candles, didn't shed a lot of blood, and then bam and he came, okay, Naruto-chan, and when he came, what did you feel? They say you can feel a large proportion of the demon's powers when he first came. I felt primal fear for my life and the desire to leave there. I thought I was going to die, but I couldn't take a step. I was afraid to breathe, Sakura-chan, you know that a Nephilim, and even mixed with the blood of a werewolf, is very difficult to scare you. Yes Sensei, I know, Sasuke-kun, why did you try so hard to scare Naruto-chan? Didn't you like her, me? Yes, I didn't scare her at all. I just came to the call, and here she's shaking with fear, even though I didn't do anything. She's strange, he replied indifferently, but for some reason it was clear that he was telling the truth, that is, Naruto-chan was scared just by your presence? Sensei decided to clarify, I don't know. Who will understand these people at all? He answered, still indifferently, yes, of course. Then why did the light go out? And why was there so much dark energy around you? Naruto started to get angry, as it turns out, she was scared, nothing, well, you know, when summoning a demon or even a creature from another world, the electricity is not stable at all. And at the expense of dark energy, do you think I should glow with light? I'm a demon after all. If I wanted someone with light energy, I would call an angel. It seems that he was already starting to get angry. Well, of course, why does a demon have dark energy? Yes, it's hard to think of a stupider question. Well, okay. Calm down, Sensei decided to finish this mess. Don't mess with your partner, Naruto-chan. Okay, I also wanted to ask, are you sure he has 5 seals? Maybe you counted a couple of extra shackles? No, Sensei, I'm sure. Sasuke has 5 shackles, Naruto replied firmly. Well, okay Naruto-chan, 5. But look, it turns out, 2 on the wrists, and where else? 2 more on the legs or rather on the tarsi and 1 more on the neck. Well, okay on the legs, but on the neck? It's like I haven't seen this before. He walked up to Sasuke and lowered his collar. There was a beautiful tattoo on his neck, it curved around his neck like a thin ornament. Yeah. You have a lot of shackles, boy. What has he done that there are so many of them? And why do they consist of the most powerful limiting symbols? You're not an ancient demon enough to restrict you so much. It's going to be a strange year, Jirai-sensei. I've been meaning to ask, what are these strange symbols? They differ from the symbols of Deidara and Gaara. I noticed others. All the others, how to say, their symbols are simpler, not tricky, like Sasuke's. Well, these symbols, as I said, they are the strongest of the existing symbols of restrictions. They are usually put to kings or close kings when they go to Earth. I don't know why they were put to him. I wouldn't be so surprised if I saw them at Gaara's. Such symbols are put if they are afraid that something irreparable may happen. Okay, don't worry your head, Naruto-chan. And Sasuke-kun, you have a strange tattoo on your neck. Why this particular word? What are you talking about, Sensei? Naruto didn't understand. Nothing, Sensei replied, looking at Sasuke, who is ready to kill him with a look. Well, I asked about the tattoo, why is he so angry? Come on, Naruto-san, it's time for us, Sasuke pushed her. What? Why am I Naruto-san? Just call me Naruto, she replied with a dazzling smile. Yes, I'm coming, don't push me already. By the time they reached the place, the bell had already rung. Okay, everyone, let's go to the training room, Sensei ordered. The training hall is a large hall, where magic, combat, as well as weapon fights are held, so the first couple, Kakashi-sensei and I get acquainted with the abilities of their partners, and then there will be fights. First magic, and then hand-to-hand. Having said this, Sensei moved away from the middle of the hall, giving us more space. The sensei had to look at everyone's abilities and select who would fight against whom. Well, the angels began to warm up among themselves, their mortals, among themselves. Dater began to fight against Sakura and the two of them stand each other, one punches, the other blows up bombs. What to say, one sin for two. Taiji and his mortal were also messing around. Sai and Ino were arguing about something that was not clear. In general, everything is as always, Naruto thought. Sasuke, let's have a fight? Only martial arts, okay. And he doesn't care what to do at all. Naruto realized, okay, let's get started. They began to fight, hitting and defending themselves from each other's attacks. Naruto at first pressed her opponent, but soon she began to lose. She tried too hard to give everything from the beginning to the end. She was just out of breath from the sudden rapid movements. Sasuke, I thought you weren't very good at hand-to-hand combat. You tricked me, and I never said that I am weak in hand-to-hand combat. And really, he didn't say that. But he did not say that he was not strong, the blonde noticed to herself. And how are you in magic? I don't know, I haven't tried. Magic won't be too powerful, but it won't be the weakest either. I will be able to defeat Dater. And why do you think that it is Datara who will be our opponent? I don't know. I'm just so oriented. Day's not the weakest, Day? Have you known each other for a long time? Yes, well, since you have so many shackles, you have to win. Do losers get expelled? No, all right. Don't lose yourself, do not doubt, even if not many people know, but I am quite strong. That's it, the first pair is over. Now I will tell you the names of your opponents. The fight will be in 10 minutes. Who loses will not be expelled. We just want to know the ratings of your forces. Ino and Sai versus Kiba and Hinata, Shikamaru and Teiji versus Tenten and Neji, Sakura and Dater versus Naruto and Sasuke, and who will win from the angels against Rock Lee and Gar. The fights will take place at the same time, so as not to waste too much time. All who have been named, stand in different places of the field. Each fight will be watched by one of the teachers. 1 pair, Jirai, Sensei 2 couple, Kakashi, Sensei 3 para, Minato Sensei, will the director be watching us? Sakura asked, startled. Yes, Haruno-san. I'll be watching you, Minato replied. Start. Naruto's POV. Everyone went to their positions and prepared for a pair fight. The couple promised to be tense, but what else? No one wanted to be considered weak. The rest of the classmates have already been put on the bar below the remaining ones. Ino and Sai were standing quite calmly. There were still 5 minutes before the fight and they didn't want to waste energy in vain. And why? Is it so difficult to win against Kiba? So what if he's with an angel? This does not change the case. Surely they thought so. Something prompted, maybe an awakened intuition, that they seriously underestimated their opponents. Everyone saw it, but according to the most important law of worldly retribution, the law of meanness, those who participated in this situation did not notice it. Kiba, on the contrary, was having fun, saying something to his angel. The girl probably listened to his chatter only because she didn't know how to shut him up. The poor guy probably already regretted 100 times that she had signed a contract with him. Shikamaru and Teiji, what are they? One was sitting and staring at the ceiling, and the other was eating something all the time. No tension. Tenten and Angel Sr. or just Neji, whichever is more convenient, were hotly discussing something. However, to be more precise, Tenten tried furiously to prove something to the angel. But he most likely was not worshipful, since he answered the whole lecture of the girl with 1 or 2 words. By the way, Sakura and Dater seem to have got along very well. Having distributed who takes on whom. Yes, Sakura's eyes were already burning with impatience. Seeing this, for some reason I wanted to dump somewhere. And her demon's hands were itching to start throwing his strange bombs. Here's a damn couple of maniacs of some kind, really. And we still have to fight with them? Nope. Well, damn, if my father is here, then if I or my demon lose, he will remember it to me for the rest of his days. Well, damn, no exit situation. Also this Sasuke, who stands aside and looks at the world with renunciation. And why, one wonders, is he a demon of lust? I haven't seduced anyone yet, I haven't done anything at all yet, I've lost my damn confidence when I said that too much magic blocks the shackles. Not well, honestly, I cheered you up in a friendly way. Sakura, don't you want to watch the fights before you start your own? I asked the green-eyed girl hopefully. Yes. It wouldn't be bad, she agreed, reducing her ardor for a moment. Minato-san, can we look at the others before starting our fight? I really want to know not only the name of the winner, but also the method of victory. Yes, most likely it will even be better and there will be more space, the father agreed. Kakashi-sensei, Jirai-sensei, let's fight in pairs. What do you mean? They are already in pairs. Jirai-sensei did not understand. No, I mean that there will be not 3 fights at once, but 2 at a time. Now Ino is with Sai against Kiba and Hinata and Shikamaru with Teiji against Tenten and Neji. And then Sakura and Dater against my daughter. Naruto and Sasuke and Rock Lee with Gaara against one of the angels. It will be just right, and there will be more space on the ball, you will not have to divide the field into 3. How's the idea? Father asked. Good Minato-san, so, all the rest time is over. The first 2 pairs on the field, said the sensei. The couples went out onto the field and stripped it in half. Who are you betting on? Sasuke asked the day who came up. Well, most likely on angels. Why? Are you no longer attracted to your relatives at all? Day asked, although most likely the hedgehog himself knew the answer. You know yourself. They are weak, yes, I do not argue. The little vampire does not shine with strength, and he will not defeat the angel. Where did the sensei look? And with the demon, too, everything, simple, right? After all, he has only shackles and he is young. And why didn't the sensei put the prince against the second angel? Because it is clear that he is stronger than the girl. Day asked, not for a second without falling silent, and I want to shut his mouth. I didn't realize before that just being silent in the presence of a Day is already a feat, that not turning around and smacking him to shut up is an impossible task. And to think, but I've known him for less than a day. That is, the demons of anger who seduce their sin with simple chatter without interruptions. Where is the world going? No, where is anything going at all? I said to myself, well, be quiet. Once such a buka. I'm out, I found a better interlocutor than you. Really, Naruto-chan? No. Lord, save me from this demon who came out of the flames of hell and seduces our world to the fulfillment of sin. And it doesn't matter that I myself recently summoned another demon from hell to seduce our world. It doesn't matter. From now on and forever, I am Naruto Uzumaki, Nephilim. I will grant you Dater, demon, from now on and forever the title of demon, not anger. I don't understand what fool gave him such a title or how else define sin, but chatter. Yes, it's more correct. It's amazing how many thoughts and with what content a person can have in a couple of seconds. I was amazed to the depths of my soul. Be quiet, the fight is starting now and your comments are out of place. Sakura clearly noticed, although it was called a training battle, in fact it was a fierce battle, and something told me that this was not planned. Sai immediately unfolded some parchment and began to draw or write something there, who knows? While he was doing this, Ino went on the attack, intelligently distributing responsibilities, that is, on herself, Kiba, on the enemy angel. In general, she distributed equally. Although her character was lousy, but in hand-to-hand combat, she was pretty good. Kiba decided to surprise everyone. He managed to defend himself mostly, but sometimes he still struck not very clear, but powerful blows. While they were diligently beating each other, and I don't care that Ino is female, Sai finished his masterpiece. Several tigers came down from the painted picture, and headed towards Hinata. She quickly parried the blows while managing to use the holy power. Yes, in magic lessons, or rather in magic textbooks, it is mentioned fleetingly that the difficulty for demons in a battle with an angel is that they are negatively affected by the holy power that angels produce. And before that, all demons, in general, all undead are equal, whether it is a demon of noble origin or the weakest vampire. Just on the demons with the royal, or what do they say, blood is easier to transfer it than a vampire. It is also easier for those who previously possessed it, that is, fallen angels, to bear it. Well, let's get back to the battle, or rather move on to another one. Shikamaru and his gluttony demon fought very well, even selflessly, but it was still not enough to defeat Neji in 10-10. She was certainly good at martial arts, but her angel outshone her. After making several powerful attacks and using holy power, he quickly defeated the demon, and 10-10 had to try very, very hard. Yes, Shikamaru is a strong opponent. For a human, he deftly controlled her shadow. But when Neji's patience came to an end, he decided to help 10-10. He began to attack the enemy as quickly as before. Yes, it was not so easy with two opponents, and it seems that from quick blows and attempts to take control of both shadows, Shikamaru was quickly exhausted. And when Nagi used his power on him, he fell unconscious. The second fight was also over. And as Sasuke said, the angels won both battles. I don't understand something. I suddenly woke up from the fight and decided to ask the question I was interested in: why is it understandable that when an angel uses holy power on demons, it's bad for them, but why did it get bad when Neji used holy power on Shikamaru? And it's the same story with Eno. My father answered my question. I'm not even surprised. Didir was gagged by Sakura when she ordered him to keep quiet. Sakura herself did not know the answer to this question, and she was looking forward to the answer. And Sasuke, well, this is Sasuke. It is impossible to force him to explain something. You see, Naruto-chan, it's just that when a person or any other living being summons a demon and enters into a contract with him, he becomes vulnerable to holy power. He takes over the darkness of the demon, so to speak. Also, it all depends on what kind of contract he signed. The closer the contract is to the more ancient, more powerful, the more the owner can feel the pain and sometimes the experiences of the demon. If the demon is strong and you have a fairly close contract, then the owner will feel the holy power, with exactly the same pain as his demon felt it. Here, for example, Shikamaru and Teiji, most likely their contract is concluded on a promise or to some extent needs. Gluttony demons most often conclude a contract that they will serve the owner only if he gives them food. Therefore, their relationship is not close, but it can be easily broken with mutual consent. But the holy power does not work on him the same way on a demon. Well, you saw it yourself, explained the father. Here you are, Sakura. What contract have you signed? Contract? Well, is there a contract that is concluded by shouting at each other? If yes, then that's exactly the contract I signed. Most likely, this is a contract built on an oath. He serves me, and I let him infuriate and feed on the anger of everyone around. It won't hurt anyone, will it? What is it? She asked hopefully. No, don't worry Sakura, it won't hurt anyone. Well, except for someone's nerves. But, you're good. I chose a good contract, not far away and not too close, Minato smiled. Naruto, what kind of contract did you sign? I hope not a kiss, the demons of lust often use it. And don't worry, there's a break now, about 20 minutes, we need to give the angel a little rest, well, if the break is okay. No, Dad, I didn't sign a contract with a kiss, it didn't even occur to me then. I signed a contract for blood, I said calmly, and only now noticed that Day was following our conversation. Somehow, both Day and Father looked strange. What did I say? I didn't have time to ask that. You signed a blood contract? Father and Day asked in unison. Yes, I replied, still calmly and uncomprehendingly. My daughter, why? What do you like about contracts, on an oath or a promise, or have you already failed to please with kisses? Why would you do that? Did he make you do that? He asked furiously, pointing at Sasuke. You scum, how dare you make my daughter do this? Sasuke sighed in resignation, apparently he did not want to get involved in this whole conversation, which, in his opinion, does not make sense. Yes, I didn't force anyone, she chose the contract herself, he drawled wearily, apparently hoping that this would be the last phrase he should say. Don't lie to me, Naruto-chan, would never do such a stupid thing, my father persisted. Dad, calm down. He's telling the truth, he gave me the opportunity to choose which contract we will conclude, but then why did you sign the most ancient contract? I was bleeding and I decided that it was impossible, that it would be wasted. It seems to me that my father and Day for company are going to faint because of my answer. Well, yes, my daughter signed a contract with the devil with the most ancient contract, and why? Just because she was bleeding then. Well, there's nothing even to dramatize here. Is that all? Did you sign a contract that won't let you get rid of the demon for the rest of your life, make you go through the same pain because of the holy power, just because you bled at the wrong time? I think Dad was boiling. Dad, calm down. He's not that bad and I think the holy power doesn't hit him that hard, surely he's not some weak vampire? Isn't that right, Dad? And in general, instead of being angry, it's better to tell me what to do, what to win. Sakura is not an easy opponent. Okay, I'm calm. At the expense of Sakura, maybe you'll figure it out somehow, but your demons are in an unequal position. Dater has 2 fetters, and yours has how many of them? Maybe take off the shackles during the fight. Director, do you want the school to take off into the air? Day asked. No. But why do you think it will take off? It's just that I know that if my friend breaks up, and even in full force, he won't leave a stone on a stone here. Believe me, I know about this better than you. Okay, but, in general, then you can do more like this. He didn't have time to finish. The break is over. Now it's our turn. It is necessary not to lose face. How can I help Sasuke with Day? Well, I can't handle him myself, I'm sure of that. Maybe you can really remove or loosen, not all, at least one shackle. Well, that's only if it's too tight for him. I thought that we again divided the field in half. Yeah, I really don't want to fight Sakura, if only because I know how strong her fists can be. And about the speed with which she can chase her victim, it's just amazing. Let's get started. Sensei commanded. Sakura rushed at me at breakneck speed. Yes, the fight will be harsh. We didn't dare to use magic on the offensive right away. It all started with a normal, hand-to-hand fight. Although it was difficult to call him ordinary. We tried to hit each other with incredible fury. They put blocks, dodged, but no one was in a hurry to give up. To win, it was necessary to either force the opponent to surrender, or knock him out. Not a complicated rule, but a very difficult way to achieve it. Neither Sakura nor I were satisfied with the prospect of surrendering, and that's why we both decided to fight until we fell unconscious. We had been trying to hit each other for about 10 minutes, our movements began to slow down, but no one gave in. It was a signal that it was time to move from hand-to-hand combat to magic combat, only now I started noticing that someone is flying around us. Yes, our demons moved at the speed of light, and just like us, no one wanted to give in. It was as if they had set themselves the goal not to beat the opponent, but to overtake him in the race. But it was only at first glance. In fact, they managed to exchange blows just as fiercely and put blocks. Sakura was already puffing, sweat was pouring down her forehead in streams, her hair was disheveled, her clothes were wrinkled, a super image. Surely my appearance was as good as hers. Completely exhausted, we decided to start using magic already. This is a magic lesson after all. But there was a small problem. In order to use her strengthening magic and my Rasengan, we would have to shorten the distance again. And that brought us back to the beginning of the fight. The sensei noticed it too, but they haven't said anything yet. Well, I had to use magic, because there was nothing else left, but as it was clear, my Rasengan only threw Haruno away for a bit, but getting up again, she went ahead again. Yes, we will fight like this for a long time. None of us has any special abilities that can defeat an opponent. Of course, my Rasengan is stronger, but it also spends more energy. I already wanted to start creating clones and suppress them with quantity, not quality, as they say, and she had something in mind, but then we were stopped by the teacher's scream. Okay, stop. You both fought well and your strength is almost equal, but you are not particularly hardy and this is your disadvantage. It's not worth continuing the fight if neither of you wants to lose. You have to help your demons win now. Whose demon to defeat, that pair will be considered the winner. Well, you can all continue. Now our thieves rushed to the non-stop battle for a second. They were both really exhausted, but they hadn't used strong magic yet or couldn't because of the shackles. Dater, I'm taking off all the shackles for the duration of the fight, Sakura shouted for a second. Yeah, finally, yes. Now Sasuke was being pushed hard, something had to be done. Sasuke, I'm taking off 2 shackles from you, for the duration of the fight. I followed Sakura's example. Thank you, he whispered. Now, something has changed. There was a heaviness in the air, steel, something terribly heavy and dangerous. I shouldn't have said everything that came into my head. Nowadays bombs didn't have the desired effect. Sasuke deftly dodged them and sent flames to his opponent, which did not reach their goal. For a second it seemed to me that my demon's eyes were red, probably glitches from fatigue. Something dark, shaped like a flame, flew at Day and he failed to dodge. He looked at Sake and froze in place, then smiled and asked him to remove the flame. Sensei, who probably guessed that it was Flame, declared Sasuke the winner. Strangely enough, the battle ended quickly and is not quite clear to everyone except those who fought. Well, really, well, the fire got on you and what? You can put it out. I'll have to ask my father later. As soon as Sasuke came up to me, his hands lit up with a purple light. Everyone turned to look at us at once. What is Naruto? Sakura asked. I don't know. After a moment, the light coming from Sasuke went out. At the same time, Day's wrists flashed with the same, only red light. Now it was beginning to dawn on me what it was. The shackles, they're back in place. By the way, the fight between the Crown Prince of Hell and the Angel passed. And the winner never came out. They fought for a long time and from this they declared a draw. Hi Day, greeted the air. Hi Gaara. What are you doing here? I'm sorry I didn't come up earlier, Day said, not at all contrite. Come on. It doesn't matter. And who is your friend? Haven't seen him in hell. If he was able to beat you, how come I don't know him? He asked. He is generally little known in hell. Yes, a silent and secretive boy, he translated the topic and left. Even Day doesn't talk all the time, and it pleases, I noticed to myself. You're not famous in hell? I decided to ask this question to Sasuke. No, guys, since we have fulfilled the goal, and we have seen your strength and are most likely tired, and therefore we decided that your classes are over for today. You can go to rest, my father said cheerfully, and I'll come to you in the evening, he whispered in my ear. Okay, that we walked all together, laughing and joking. The evening turned out to be great. No one was in a hurry to get to their beds, despite the fact that tomorrow they would have to go to the academy again. No one noticed that it was already getting dark. Interestingly, although the moon was half full, it shone with the color of blood, as if warning of a possible impending threat. And no one has seen this from mortals and creatures of light. Only those close to the ancient darkness, old as the universe itself, could make out this prediction, which reads, "The blood moon is shining brightly, warning mortals, but no one sees what is hidden beyond the edge. The bloody eyes are back, the bloody night will also return, and the moon is only a messenger, the path will open, no, it is already open." Naruto's POV. The party lasted a very long time. We went to karaoke. Someone, exactly who I don't remember, didn't yell very pleasantly into the microphone. That's why my head is cracking so much right now. And that's why I look at the clock, at the door, at my demon, who is lying on the bed and looking out the window. I am waiting for my father, who, by the way, promised to come to me in the evening, but he is late. I want to sleep, and he's waiting for the most inopportune moment to ring that stupid doorbell. I sit down on the sofa, and I already want to spit on everyone and everything, go to sleep, rest. But as always, someone interrupts such an idle, damn it. The door began to knock insistently, I ignore. After 5 minutes, the father's persistence increases, but he still continues to knock. 15 minutes later, he's already pounding on the door with his fists, and my demon is trying to drill me with his eyes, or force me to go and open the damn door. Yes, Dad. How much can you ram? I'm sorry. Why didn't you open it? Lay down. Too late. Come I end at him. Why? Father came into my monastery slowly. Stared at my demon. The demon answered him with a mutual, penetrating look. If I don't say anything now, then my father will kill Sasuke, and say that it was so. Dad, why did you come? It's getting late, like, it's time to go to bed. I'm sorry, Naruto-chan, if I woke you up, he said in a caring voice. And suddenly became serious. Naruto-chan, we need to talk urgently. Okay, let's talk. Do you want to get out? Why? He's got good hearing anyway, he'll hear. And the topic concerns him. Okay, let's talk, but don't kill each other. Daughter, we are not going to kill each other at all. It's just that we're looking at each other. Everyone always does that. Okay. Past. So what are we going to talk about? About today's match. We have distributed the summoned in the list by strength and have written the abilities of these creatures. Do you want to know? Of course. My eyes lit up. I always like to listen to anything related to magic. Well, in general, Neji and Gaara are in the first place. On the second, Hinata. On the third, Sasuke, Dater and Teju, then Sai. Sai is pretty strong for a vampire. Dad, is Sakura's demon strong? When I fought with him, it seemed to me that he was not so weak. We can say that he is even very strong, it's just that he probably has a slightly different sphere of power. Yes. Naruto-chan, that's right. There are demons who are strong because they lead someone, or know how to make traps, and there are those who are strong in direct combat, and there are those who combine both of these qualities. I see. Is that all you wanted to say, Dad? No, of course not. Naruto-chan, I would like to deal with you and your demon. You don't mind? Aren't you interested too? He looked at me with a pleading look, and it seems to me that even if I wasn't interested in anything at all, I still wouldn't be able to refuse him. I never could. In an attempt of impotent anger, I nodded. And what else to do when your father asks, just begs, with a look, to study your demon? Yes, and I'm a little curious, there are so many questions with him. So there's nothing wrong with that. End of Naruto Pov Minato. Yes, we managed to persuade Naruto-chan, and now let's try to talk this demon. Although, most likely it will not work out. But the attempt is not torture, Sasuke-kun, I said, watching the dissatisfied reaction. I was glad. It's lucky that it's not a demon of anger, otherwise it would be much more difficult. Now the only difficulty is that I can't scan it, otherwise Kushina will kill. Let's start from the beginning. How old are you? 1970, don't joke, I'm serious. My voice sounded a little nervous. But, how else? This demon is definitely joking, but at the same time does not betray his lies, not by a single unnecessary movement. Damn, this is also a problem. With his stone face it is not clear when he is joking and when he is telling the truth. In the future, with more complicated questions, it will be more difficult to find out if he is lying or telling the truth. Okay, you don't want to talk, okay. I'll write it down as 126, to you, probably, in truth, it is about somewhere. And don't look at me like a wolf, I said the last sentence, purely out of assumptions, that he probably puffed up because I didn't name and write down his age, but as soon as I turned around and wanted to follow his reaction, I was covered with a wave of calm, very cold water. Yes, and the guy knows how to hide emotions, and quite well. Let's move on to the next question, Sasuke-kun, I suggested and began to look through the empty, almost empty form. So what's the next question? What eyes? Well, it's simple, he used fire, therefore his eyes are brown. But the question is why he hides it is not clear. Does he think it's more fun and they can confuse him with a vampire? Technically, he looks like a vampire, black eyes, pale skin, but, you can't hide the essence so easily. I have a high enough level of strength that I realize that a lot of shackles were given to him for a reason. But it's possible that 5 is too much, but okay. This topic can be touched upon later. And now Chan keeps watching and listening, probably thinks that magic is so pure and innocent, naive, there are a lot of secrets in it, and how much darkness, you can just die. It seems that she has not yet fully realized what she has called. She hadn't realized yet that there was more than just a handsome, gloomy guy standing in her room. And okay, you need to ask a question. Show me what symbols you have on your shackles. He just held out his hand. There was a tattoo on his wrist, a thin ribbon. All her beauty consisted in the fact that she was not too pretentious, but at the same time captivated the eye. The precision and skill with which it was applied was amazing. And the whole string consisted entirely of different signs and symbols. The symbols ran around the wrist twice, and there were many different signs on the rim. In all this weaving there seemed to be a middle into which the signs were drawn. If you looked closely, you could understand that the tattoo was not lying in place, but slowly spinning with barely discernible speed, and the signs on the edges were replaced and returned. If you didn't know from the very beginning that it was a shackle, you would think that it was an ordinary artful tattoo, but not a seal restraining the power of a demon. The tattoo glowed faintly with a dark purple light, almost black. It means that if the demon tries to use the force without permission or against the owner, it will deliver all kinds of torments. I interrupted my examination of the tattoo skill, and drew attention to the signs, or rather words, flashing along the rims and in the middle of the tattoo. Strange symbols, incomprehensible. I've never seen anything like it. But this can't be, for the second time in a day I meet symbols on the shackles that I can't read. Only the Sakura demon, in contrast, has symbols in the distance that resemble modern ones, and these are not understandable at all. End of POV. Minato. POV Sasuke. This man, Naruto's father, is staring at my wrist tattoos. He doesn't seem to know the language. How could he possibly know him? It has been used for a very long time, even when I was little. It will be funny. I wonder what kind of face he will have when he tries to read the tattoos that I have on my neck. That language, he definitely won't know, because it was with such signs that our clan marked hell when we went out into the world to hunt or play with people. He thinks I'm one of the demons whose age can be determined by their appearance, who live only 1,500 years and die a natural death. What kind of falsehood? Enrages. He has lived a little more than a century and considers himself omniscient. 126 to me, yeah, of course. It would be easier for you if your restless daughter summoned some weak demon or the same vampire. It seems that Minato got tired of looking at the tattoos on his wrists and began to show with his whole appearance that he understood their meaning. Joyfully, Sasuke, where else do you have tattoos? He asked in a low voice. It seems he thinks that he lied about the number of shackles for a couple. Dad, I'm actually still here, and I can hear everything perfectly. What are you whispering about? On his feet and on his neck, Naruto answered for me, or mistress. Without a clue what to call her, she didn't say what she preferred. Show it on your neck, Minato asked, or rather ordered. Oh, so you think you can order me around? It's a pity that he's a relative, otherwise it would have been possible to teach him a lesson, but the problem is that holy power emanates from him. It's a little uncomfortable in the same room with him. Well, okay, so I'll show you today. It seems his intuition is not so bad, since he assumed that there are the same shackles on his hands and feet. The end of the POV. Sasuke. POV Minato unbuttoning the first buttons and pulling off his tie, the demon bared his neck. The skin on her was also just unimaginably pale, but not white. Shackles ran around my throat like a rim, and if the signs on my wrist made me wonder and think hard, in which I never found the answers to the questions, then the signs on my neck just put me in a stupor. It's not that I haven't seen such signs before. No, they didn't remotely resemble anything. Maybe, of course, I have met at least some of them somewhere, but how tightly they were squeezed together did not allow me to remember more than one sign definitely. It was as if one sign flowed into another, and thus, all this vaguely resembled something. Maybe a barbed wire wound around someone's neck. Maybe, but I'm not sure. It was strange. Looking up close, there was a feeling that these signs were not applied to the skin, as happens with demons, but burned on it, while managing not to leave a single burn. I wanted to run my finger along this line to make sure how powerful the limiter is on the guy. Or just because I wanted to make sure that the symbols are not burned out. But it couldn't be done. A strange kid was falling on Naruto-chan's head. She signed a contract with him, and not the simplest, but on blood. At the same time, without even knowing his name. Yes, and this nameless demon turned out to have as many as 5 shackles. Perhaps I had previously admitted the possibility that some of them were an illusion. But now I am almost 100% sure that this is true. I don't know how long ago, the last time hell put shackles on the neck. Yes, and in such a strange language. Correction, languages. I am sure that the wrists and legs are shackled in the same language, and there is something on the neck that is not really readable at all. And at the same time, the guy managed to summon Amaterasu. I've been talking about the fact that a demon can cause such a fire for 100 years, or maybe I haven't heard a little more. A rarity in our time. Oh, yes, do not forget that if they signed a contract on blood, it means they mixed a little of their own blood, but the blood of an angel, even if half diluted with the blood of a half werewolf, should have caused, if not death, then at least prolonged pain. But then Naruto-chan would also have felt this pain burning the body from the inside, but she did not complain. So what's the secret? Yes, there are more and more questions every minute, and the number of answers is decreasing at an incredible rate. One more question: how did Naruto-chan manage to summon a demon from the so-called astral using just a little bit of her blood? Maybe it's the symbols or her blood? Naruto-chan, can I take the sheet on which you wrote the signs for summoning the demon? You haven't thrown it out yet, have you? No, not yet. And why do you need it? Yes, it's just that your demon has a lot of secrets. And there are a lot of questions, we will try to find an answer to them. I have to go, your mother doesn't like to wait, so will you give me a sheet now? Yeah, I'll get it right away. One more question for you, said the man, turning to face the guy still standing, with the button on his shirt unbuttoned. That tattoo on your neck, in addition to the rim, in the form of some word, are also shackles? No, the guy's gaze darkened, as if he didn't want to think about the past, and I don't have any other tattoos either. You know what? The guy did not have time to finish, as Naruto ran into the room and handed her father a sheet. Here, this is her, thanks, you can go to bed. Sasuke will show me out, really? The girl asked incredulously, looking from her father to the demon. Really, don't worry Naruto-chan, your demon won't die until tomorrow, I reassured her, or else she was really worried. I headed for the door, and the demon reluctantly followed me too. At the very door, I stopped and turned around, so abruptly that I almost ran into the demon. Fortunately he had a good reaction, and he instantly moved away. So what did you want to tell me? Sasuke-kun? Nothing, he said in an indifferent voice, turned around and was ready to leave, but changed his mind, turned around and looked into my eyes, proving his seriousness, said, watch out for Naruto, she attracts a lot of attention. Goodbye. I stared at him uncomprehendingly, but before I could say anything, he interrupted me. It seems that he said the last sentence unconsciously, as if subconsciously. Today the moon, unreal red, is strange, because it's not a full moon, and so, before I could ask what he meant, he slammed the door right in my face. When I went outside, I looked at the sky and thought, strange guy, what is he talking about? What's wrong with Naruto-chan? Yes, she is special, but so what? And why did he say the moon was red? It will be necessary to introduce Kushina to him, maybe she knows more? Behind all these reflections, the man looked at the sky and began to understand what the demon was talking about. The moon was indeed red, not just red, but as if filled with blood. Fear and misunderstanding ran through the man's eyes. Why didn't he notice before that the moon turned red? Awesome, +1 question and -1 answer. He revealed to him a little truth about the world. Maybe Sasuke would have told him more, but not now. He still doesn't trust him much, doesn't trust him at all, and it's not strange. Minato was lucky that he heard the last sentence of a guy who probably knows a lot more than he says, or can say. I wonder what he's still doing in this world. End of POV. Minato. That's the end of it.